NASCAR Senior Vice President of Competition Elton Sawyer attempted to explain why NASCAR chose not to throw the caution flag on the final restart at the Brickyard 400 after Ryan Preece spun out and was clearly stopped on the backstretch. And they chose to let Kyle Larson accept the white flag and then throw the caution after he got into 1 and 2. In my opinion, this is an inexcusable call, and his explanation is a bunch of garbage. But let's listen to what he had to say here. Before we do this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Here's what he had to say speaking to NASCAR.com, which I find really interesting. Couldn't actually talk to any of the non-affiliated press.
Here in the NASCAR Cup Series garage, following the Brickyard 400 with Senior Vice President of Competition for NASCAR, Elton Sawyer. Let's walk through the decisions on the last lap. Can you take me through NASCAR's decisions on that following lap?
Yeah, obviously, Alex, we'd like for it to play out naturally. We want our teams to race to the checkered flag. We did everything we possibly could. We kept an eye on the 41. He got turned around. He was really giving a solid effort. And once he came to a stop, and we could tell that he had a flat left rear tire, he wasn't going to move. We'd already taken the white. We just couldn't run by there again. So it was unfortunate, but it was the right call.
Obviously, we saw that it was on the last lap, but would the call have been the same if it was earlier in the race?
I think, when it comes to safety, and we have cars that have spun out and they're trying to make an effort to move, we're going to do everything we can to stay green. But, again, it's a case-by-case basis, and, we'd have to, there's a lot of hypotheticals there.
Can you also take me through when the 6 abandoned the race and the restart and the re-choose?
So that is what Elton Sawyer had to say about the final restart there with Kyle Larson winning the race. But I think the caution should have been thrown. Let's take a look at what that restart looked like right here over on NASCAR on NBC. Here we go. You can see Preece has spun out right there. Makes contact with the wall. Larson is now into turns 3. It's going into 4 there, I guess. Preece clearly is not moving. He is now stopped. He is stopped. Waved the white flag. Still not moving. Spinning the tires. Not moving at all. He's already taken the white flag. And here comes the caution right here after they get out of turn 2. So absolutely unexcusable. Should have thrown the caution before that white flag was thrown. Should have gone to another overtime. They chose not to. As for why Ryan Preece was unable to move, he posted this on X here. He says, to clear the air, normal operating fuel pressure is 66 PSI. When I slowed, the engine went to 12 PSI. The engine would not go at wide open throttle. I ran out of fuel, and we have a video here showing that is indeed what happened. Let's take a look. Clearly slows up.
Still there.
So you can see he clearly runs out of gas, slows up immensely. Chase Elliott doesn't really have anywhere to go, gets into the back of him and spins him around. And so if NASCAR has all of this data, they should see that he's out of gas. And they should have known that he was going to be able to move. So that makes it even worse, in my opinion. And I think Denny Hamlin kind of puts it here the best. I mean, he just absolutely blisters Elton Sawyer here. Let's take a listen.
I was watching in the bus. Trust me, I was there. And I was like, there's going to be a caution. There's a caution. Because he stopped. One thing I just don't understand now is that I'm watching on TV. When Elton Sawyer says, well, by the time that we saw that the 41 was not able to move, we had already crossed the start-finish line. Wrong. That's not true. He was not moving when they were coming off turn 4. He had resigned to sitting there. Through turns 4, he stops. He just says, all right, I'm not going to go anywhere. So they had roughly 8 seconds to make a call there, and they didn't. I was
So I think that puts it pretty succinctly there. They had the opportunity to make the call. They chose not to. It was not the right call. It was the wrong call. Priest was out of gas. He wasn't going to move. NASCAR has that data. You assume that they got a data guy looking at that stuff, can see that. Or there's probably some radio communication happening between Priest and his team that they can be listening in. Absolutely inexcusable. Inexcusable call. He's just out there straight lying. I wouldn't want to do that. If I had, I couldn't do that. I couldn't go out there and just lie to the press like that, lie to the public. It's awful, awful call. Let me know what you guys make of this. Let me know in the comments below.